Don't mind your business. Mind my podcast, Mind Elixir. Hello there. My name is Ayoka, and welcome to or back to my podcast. In this episode, I wanted to discuss this whole main character slash it or being that girl mindset, and I also wanted to discuss how the portrayal or the romanticization of teen lifestyle slash life in movies and how it appears in movies. Also, I actually went on vacation recently. I went to South Padre Island, which is a beach in Texas. We went kayaking, swimming, all of that, and it was really fun, except for the fact that I got really sunburned. I don't know why some people say that you can't get sunburnt if you're brown skinned or you have darker skin. Um, I literally got sunburnt all over my hands and then also all over my entire face, but it's getting better. I've been using aloe vera and everything. And then also the fact that I used also the fact that I was on Accutane, that probably made my skin more sensitive because I remember they told me to stay out of the sun, but then within 2 days I had been in the sun for like 10 hours and it was really hot outside. So that was probably what made me get sunburnt so much. Although I had used sunscreen, but I don't really know. Now let's go ahead and get into the topic of this episode. So I think that teen life in movies and in shows is often romanticized. And I feel like a lot of us have this kind of set idea for how high school is going to be. And I mean, in movies and other media, it's like they have the teens in the movies or the main characters in the movies and the shows. They always have this one life changing or eye opening experience, or they'll have these wonderful experiences with their friend groups and stuff. Like they'll go driving at night with their friends and sneaking out, partying, all of that. And some of these movies or shows are realistic, and some of them are really not. Like Riverdale, even if you take away all of the murder and the mystery of it, it's still really not realistic. And they have like full on glamorous adults playing teens, like with full faces of makeup, all dressed up and all of that. And also Euphoria too. Like I love the show. Well, not love, but the show Riverdale is interesting. Um, but it's like not a realistic portrayal. Like the aspects of it that are in high school, that isn't really a realistic portrayal of what high school is like. And that's just one example. I know there's a lot of other shows like Euphoria, Riverdale. What's another show? I don't know. But honestly, the show that I think has the most realistic, well, not necessarily most, but a somewhat relatable character kind of was Davy from Never Have I Ever. I mean, not relatable for me, but it wasn't like it didn't make it seem they didn't make all the teens of the show act super grown or adult. I think that's what I mean. But I think the appeal in most of these coming of age high school movies and all of that is that it gives us or me something to try to relate to or look forward to. I mean, I actually haven't really had the high school experience, I guess if you could say that. But this year, I guess I'm going to have that. I guess whatever that is, because as we all know, last year I went online for the entire year, so I didn't really get to go to high school. So I guess this year is basically going to be like my freshman year, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. But what does it even mean to be a main character? Because I remember there was this whole thing on YouTube and TikTok where people were talking about how they wanted to have main character vibes or live their life like a main character, and how they're trying to romanticize their lives to make it less boring and stuff like that. But what does that even mean? Because if you think about it, there is no one set way that main characters in shows, movies, and media even act. But then again, if you think about it, it is kind of weird to just go around calling yourself a main character. Like, I don't know if people actually do that, but if you go around calling yourself a main character and telling people that you want main character energy or main character vibes, that's like, what? Even on Spotify, I searched up main character and there was these main character vibes playlist. And I'm sorry, but it's so weird to me. But I can understand why. But at the same time, if you think about it, of course, we are all technically main characters within our own lives because we are the ones that are experiencing it. We are the ones that are living it. Like, you're the one being you. You're the one in this body listening to this podcast right now in this moment. You are you. So, of course, you're the main character in your own life. Like I think it's a bit silly to say you're a side character in your life, but I at the same time I think I understand what people mean when they say that. They just mean that they don't feel as though they're the best version of themselves or that they don't feel important within their own life, which is sad. And whenever people say they want to be a main character, the way that I see it is that they're saying that they want to be more of an idealized or an ideal version of themselves, the it girl or that girl. Which there's also a trend for the it girl thing as well on YouTube, where I saw people trying to say I want to be that girl, and which is understandable because I wish I could say I have everything together in my life and that I'm so productive and that I take aesthetic pictures and videos and do everything right and have main character vibes. Well, kind of not really. But I wish I could say that, but I definitely do not because this is real life. And I think that just goes to show that we shouldn't compare ourselves too much to the teens that we see in movies or on shows or on social media and all of that because it is very romanticized and the lines between reality and what is just like romanticized or glammed up or like the highlight reel is often blurred, you know? Even me, like I see all these teens on social media doing all sorts of amazing things, especially after this whole COVID quarantine thing, it really made me feel like I'm missing out on a whole entire year of my life. And I felt like I wasn't going to get to do amazing things myself and that I'm just wasting my teen years and I'm not going to have get to have that amazing teen experience I see in movies. Like, but honestly, I swear I have such a problem with comparing myself to other people on Instagram. I keep having to log out and deactivate my personal Instagram account, which is the one that I follow most of my IRL friends and acquaintances and stuff like that on. I keep having to deactivate my account because honestly, I'll just go onto that account and keep scrolling and looking at stuff and start comparing myself to people and start feeling sad about my life, which is not that great. I've had like it just keeps happening. And I don't know, like I try to stop it, but then whenever it gets too much, I just log out and deactivate. And even on those like supposedly spontaneous Pinterest photos of friend groups, I know everyone always says that they like wish they had a Pinterest. Well, yeah, some people say like they wish they could recreate Pinterest photos with their friends. I know that I sometimes wish that. Like I wish I could have a friend group that I could recreate Pinterest photos with. But honestly, those photos, they probably aren't even actually spontaneous. They probably had to take them like 20 million times. Probably half of the people in those friend groups, you don't know how well they get along. Like what I'm trying to say is that how things appear on social media, how things appear in the movies aren't always what they are in real life, or they don't always meet the expectations that you have for real life. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Since like And I think since everything is so romanticized, people forget that it's okay if you aren't partying every night, doing drugs, drinking alcohol, sneaking out, all of that. Because although life is short and unexpected things may happen, you still have a lot of time after your teen years to do that stuff as well. You don't have to feel like I don't know why I feel like I'm wasting like, you don't have to feel like you're just wasting your life just because you weren't able to do something at some point, because most likely you will have another opportunity. I understand some things there aren't always other opportunities to do them, but other times you still have your whole entire life ahead of you. So many people don't find their hobbies or whatever until they're older. So it's okay if you feel as if you aren't living your best life right now. You're not missing out or wasting. Just live your life at your own pace. It'll come someday, and hopefully you have your whole life ahead of you to do that. And I'm not saying we should all have we're just on a floating rock and nothing matters mindset. Like, no, that's such a negative mindset because like, good and well, things in life still matter and all of that. Okay, so if it feels like you're not doing something you need to do, or if you feel like you're missing out on something in life, like just let it go because you'll still have time to do it later. You don't need to do everything right now while you're a teen, because I know I had that mindset for a long time. But, you know, It's all right. Just let life play out as it should. Like, I'm not saying not do anything at all. Like, still live your life, do all that. But I'm just saying you don't need to feel like you're lame for not dating anybody or for not having your first kiss and all of that. I don't know why people make it seem like life immediately gets boring after high school, but yeah, there you still have all your life ahead of you, so enjoy that. And that is basically the end of this episode. Don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you'd like to. You can follow me on Insta and all of my socials. I think I have them linked down below. And if you'd like to email me, you can email me at mindelixir.thepodcast@gmail.com. You know, the usual. And I hope you have a lovely rest of the day or night. It is the evening for me, 8 o'clock actually, the night. So whenever you're listening to this, that's it. Bye. See you next week.